Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Hit and Move All Day Balance Boxing Gloves. So check it out. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the Hit and Move All Day Balance Boxing Gloves. I got mine in the red, white, and green colorway. 12 ounces in Velcro. You can also get these gloves in lace up, anywhere between 12 and 16 ounces in multiple different colorways. It's made of full genuine Turkish leather with layered foam padding over the knuckle area on what they describe as DRT padding. Utilizes some memory foam as well with a medium density to it. The gloves are designed here in the United States and are manufactured in Pakistan. Now, for those of you that are wondering, yes, I've done a review on the Balance gloves before from Hit and Move. The reason I'm doing a review on this version is that these are actually revised over the original. There's two main upgrades they've done with the Balance glove. The first thing is going to be the leather. They've improved to a Turkish leather compared to the original. So the leather on here has a very nice texture and grain to it and feel. Feels definitely more high end than the originals. And then they also shortened the cuff just a little bit. So compared to the original, the cuff is a little bit shorter, and I know some people prefer a shorter cuff. They don't really like those super long cuffs that come down onto the lower part of your forearm. So those are the two big differences and improvements, in my opinion, over the original Balance gloves. It's going to be the leather and, of course, the shorter cuff. Now, from a design standpoint, it's a very good looking glove. The leather on here does have a very thick grain and texture to it. You have your standard Hit and Move logo all day on the back of the glove. 3.5-inch Velcro strap in red and leather with the Hit and Move logo. The green on here for the actual piping, it's not like your standard just flat green. It almost has kind of like a pearl shine to it as well. Coming to the palm side, again, the full leather Velcro strap. You do have another Hit and Move logo, that green piping. Very nice grippy Velcro. It says genuine leather, designed in the United States, Hit and Move vertically. The inside uses a very nice smooth tricot liner that has Hit and Move printed on the liner itself. It does have about, I'd say, half an inch of firm, what feels like EVA padding on the inside of the wrist, and then a softer padding that goes up against your skin, which is nice and comfortable. You have that on both sides of the glove, kind of splinting your hand in. And then on the back of the wrist, about an inch of padding. Again, a harder, firmer EVA with nice softer liner on the inside padding that gives you a very nice luxurious feel on the inside of the glove. Double stitching throughout. One other nice little detail with this glove is they utilize green stitching. So I do like the little detail with the green stitching. It looks really clean and kind of unique. I mean, it's to the naked eye when you're using the glove, somebody might not notice that, but when you have the gloves up close in front of you and you're looking at them, you could definitely tell the green stitching is nice added touch. Nice large grip bar, as well as ventilated holes above the grip bar close to the finger compartment, as well as ventilated holes on the inner side of the thumb. All day written vertically on the thumb with a leather attached thumb right there. So overall, a very good looking glove. In terms of profile for a 12-ounce gloves, I'd say that these are pretty much on point with, you know, similarly sized 12-ounce gloves. Not too compact, not too large. This glove is really one of those excellent gloves for mid-work and doing heavy bag work. If you're looking for something in that mid-range, maybe you don't want to go with like a full-on 8 or 10-ounce fight glove, but you also don't want to go with like a 16-ounce glove. You want something kind of right in the middle, and you want something to work with the mitts, get a good workout, work on those precision shots, and just have a little bit more of a compact feeling glove. And this definitely would fill that void for a more of a compact style glove that's not too big, not too bulky, but also not too small to where you're now worried about injuring your hand. So I think this is kind of that perfect glove in that segment. Now, quality wise, looking at the glove, very nice quality. The leather to me is really what stands out with this glove. You can see it has that really, try to get it up and close, and hopefully I can capture it in the video. A very nice deep texture to it. It doesn't feel flat across the glove. And I've had the gloves for several months now. They've held up really well. Obviously for myself, I maintain my gloves. I'm kind of I have kind of like OCD when it comes to that. Take care of my gloves, and it really increases the longevity of the gloves as the years go by, or as the months go by. So it's just something I always tell people and I recommend, you know, you get out of it what you put into it. If you don't take care of your gloves, you beat them up, you put them in your bag and they're all sweaty and moist on the inside, they're probably gonna end up stinking and you're getting a lot of bacteria. You got to think about your sweat. I'm the type of person that sweats a lot when I train, so all that salt in your sweat will definitely break down the leather. So it's really important that you maintain your gloves. And I know I'm kind of getting a little bit off track in this video, but that's really what's going to push the longevity of your gloves. If you don't take care of them, they're just going to wear out so much quicker. But so far, these held up really nicely. The stitching is done very clean. All the areas where you would expect stitching to be kind of 50-50, right there where the thumb meets the index finger, it's done very nicely. The palm side is done really well. The glove is extremely well balanced, and it's funny, no pun intended, but the gloves are called the Hit and Move All Day Balance Boxing Gloves. So you can see, I mean, there is definitely no sag at all. The gloves are advertised as a 12-ounce glove, like the tag shows right there. When you put them on the scale, like I did, these came in at 11.8 ounces. So pretty much exactly on point with the weight for these gloves. So nice to have a glove that's exactly on point with weight. And both gloves are both 11.8. So they're symmetrical in that sense with weight. They're exactly the same. So, excuse me. Stitching on the palm side is done pretty well. Everything looks really clean. Piping, you have that elastic that keeps the palm side together. The only area I would kind of critique with this glove is when it comes to stitching is maybe right here on the back. And you can see they do like a double stitch to kind of to end the stitching there. I mean, that could have been done maybe a little bit cleaner on the hinge point where the back of the wrist connects to the hand compartment portion of the glove. You can see that stitching could probably be done a little bit cleaner. But you know, again, I'm just nitpicking at this point. Everything else about the glove is done very nicely. Stitching done really well. Leather is really clean. The white leather is really nice. Has kind of a satin finish to it as well. So quality is definitely there with this glove. Comfort. Now that's another thing when it comes to Hit and Move gloves. Very similar to like what I experienced with Phenom and even Rival. You can definitely tell that they put an emphasis on comfort and just hand ergonomics. When I say hand ergonomics, when it comes to a protective glove or protecting your hands in boxing gloves, should I say, to me the number one priority on that list of protecting your hands is hand placement. You could have all the padding and you could have all the nice leather and you could have all this different technology and all kinds of things, but the number one thing is hand placement, how well your hand is put in position. So when you're throwing a punch, the glove essentially helps you. It doesn't take away from your punch technique. In some gloves you get that. You get gloves that you put your hand in there and you're like, wow, this is really awkward. The thumb feels way off. The hand compartment's too loose, or it feels like there's too roomy. You know, there's this big void where my pinky's at, so when I land a punch, my hand kind of scoots forward in the glove and I get a blister. So to me, that's really the first thing is going to be the positioning of your hand in the glove. And I feel like they do a really good job with hand positioning. The size of the glove, again, it's a little bit more on the compact side, but thumb position is perfect. Nice and parallel with the glove, not too deep, as well as for the end of the thumb compartment there. So I don't feel like my thumb jams into this portion of the thumb right there. You can also see that this fat part of my thumb, and I mentioned this in pretty much all my videos, this piece of piping is large enough to accommodate the fat part of my thumb, so I don't feel like the circulation is getting cut off in my hand. If you guys have ever had gloves that were tight right here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You take your hand out of the gloves after you just got done doing 12 rounds on the bag, and you'll notice that there's this big red mark on your thumb, and that's because the piping has just been cutting into your thumb. And I hate that, because I feel like if they just took a little bit more time and opened that up a little bit more, it can make the glove so much more comfortable. So in regards to that, feels really good. Wrist support feels great. The liner feels amazing. I definitely love the liner in this glove. The finger width is perfect. Not too wide, not too narrow. You also have a nice extra piece of neoprene that covers the stitching, so it kind of acts like a little memory pad for your fingers to grip onto aside from this grip bar. But overall, a very comfortable glove. The break-in period does take a little bit longer. I feel like the glove is a little bit on the stiff side at first. It's not like an overly stiff IMF glove, but there is some stiffness to the glove. So the more you use this glove, the more it will really break in and loosen up, especially the padding once it really softens up, and then you'll be able to open and close your hand with no problem to parry shots. But do keep in mind that this glove does have a little bit of a break-in period to really soften up the glove. Protection and performance, I'd say that this glove is balanced. And you know, it's funny, the model of the glove is called the Balance Glove, and that really perfectly sums up what this glove is. I feel like it's just like your do-it-all glove in the gym. Sparring, pad work, bag work, partner drills. I mean, whatever it may be, you can do it with this glove. You can use it for, you know, densely filled heavy bags. You can use for soft heavy bags. You can hit the mitts with it. You could hit the paddles with it. You could hit the sticks with it. Double end bag, cobra bag, whatever it may be. And I feel the padding is right there in the middle. It gives you a good amount of feedback, but it's definitely protective in the fact that it does do a really good job of absorbing shock. And I feel like because the padding is a little bit more on that medium kind of denser side. Now, when I say medium and dense, what I mean by that is that when you push down into the actual padding itself towards your knuckles, how hard is it for you to really feel your knuckles? I mean, if you have to put a lot of effort and really push down into it and it feels rock solid, then that's definitely a much more denser glove. If it's a glove that has maybe horsehair in it or a really soft open cell foam, you might be able to just push right through and you can feel your index finger knuckle or your middle finger knuckle really pretty easily. So with this one, you definitely can't do that, but it's not rock solid like a molded foam glove to where it's just like you're just pushing down like on a rock. You know, it doesn't feel like it's super solid. So I'd say that this is kind of right in the middle, maybe a little bit on the protective side, but definitely on the protective balance side. You know, when I'm throwing my jabs, it feels good, feels connected, no issues there. So overall, very comfortable glove, performs very nicely, and just like they're called, a very balanced glove. Cost-wise, these gloves vary. At the lowest pricing, it's at $229, and I believe it goes all the way up to $279. So you basically have a range between $229 to $279, depending on the size and the color that you get with this glove. I believe some of the colors are considered more of like a limited edition. I'm not too sure I really am a fan of that. I feel like when it comes to pricing, I feel like you shouldn't make it different. I feel like if you're gonna come out with a color, unless it's like a signature glove where it's endorsed by a pro boxer or an MMA fighter, then obviously I can understand they might have a little bit of a price jump. But regardless of that, I feel like if you have a standard color lineup and sizing anywhere between 12 and 16, I feel like, in my opinion, like depending on, regardless of size and the color, I feel like they should be priced the same. That's just my personal opinion on that. Keeps things simple, and also feels like you're not really trying to like nickel and dime your customers in that regard. Now, I get it in some respects too. I mean, if you look at like Winning does the same thing. They depending on if you get like the MS 600, the MS 500, the MS 4s, and on down, the price changes as well depending on the size. So they have that same structure too. But again, I'm not a really big fan of that when it comes to increasing your price by increasing the size of the glove. I mean, I get it, you're using more material and more foam and filling. So from the actual glove itself, physically, you're using more product to make the glove. But I don't know, just kind of, I feel like if you're gonna do it, just one price, and it feels just a little bit more genuine in that regard when it comes to the actual branding and you know, selling the product to your customers. And that's just my thoughts on that for the cost. But I definitely think the gloves, from a pricing point, with the leather and the type of foam, it's balanced, the stitching looks really good. You know, it's right there at the two. I'd say it's maybe a little bit overpriced. I'd say that this is kind of in that $200 range. You know, I feel like it's kind of right there with like the rival Guerrero gloves in terms of the quality of the gloves. I still kind of prefer the Guerrero padding. I feel like the Guerreros are slightly more comfortable. So this to me is kind of in that range of that 200-ish glove, which I definitely think, based on the quality, the comfort, the padding they use, I think it's priced fairly compared to what other gloves are there on the market. So overall, I'm really satisfied with this glove. If I were to do it all over again, I'd probably get a different colorway just because I have a ton of different red gloves. Maybe go with the white or the gold, white with gold on here. Maybe go with the lace up too. That way I can get a really nice locked in feel with the laces. But overall, I'm very satisfied with these gloves. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. Put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Hit and Move all day balanced boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Peace.